So I forgot to go live 4 minutes ago, so I'm going live now. But man, I didn't even do my hair yet. Didn't even comb it. I've just been sitting in my bed working, right? Who does this? Oh, big old microphone. Let's switch over to the good stuff, shall we? Let's make it work. Ooh, here I am. Hi. So the theme is that you can start work late sometimes, you can start work early sometimes, you can be exactly who you need to be whenever you need to be it. You do not have to be perfect. You can have sleep in your eyes, you can have red things on your nose from your glasses. You can not have showered yet. It's okay. Right now, we're all figuring it out. The bottom hasn't come yet. It's not there. But in the process, what we all have to do, what we all want to do, what's going to make this work for us, what's going to sort of save us, nothing's going to save us, but what's going to make us, scrape through in the best possible way, is that we're going to have to understand that perfection is over. Perfection is so 2019. And I can't even not laugh when I say that, because we both know that we weren't all that perfect in 2019, were we? Or the year before. What's different instead is that, I wrote this book. It was called It's Not About the Tights. And the book was about bravery and how to make bravery happen. And in It's Not About the Tights, I talked about we need to build a cape. So I'm going to repeat the cape. Hi, Suze. Hi, Ferg. Hi, Joel. What a team. In Not About the Tights, I gave you the concept of cape. And CAPE is an acronym, of course. It's like superhero themed. CAPE is confidence, acceptance, permission, and then execution. But then I take the P in CAPE and I replace it with practice once we get going further. So confidence, acceptance, we take out permission and we make it practice and execution. And what is this cape about? This is your superhero cape. Did you know that you can actually train confidence? You can train confidence. Confidence isn't something that you lack or have to wait for. Confidence is something that actually has simple muscles that require work. And I'll tell you one of the simplest, easiest ways. Now the book, It's Not About the Tights, is only available on Amazon. It has a great cover. It's cbrogan.me/no tights. I'll put the link in the little chat thing. I think it'll work. cbrogan.me/no tights. And if you want to read it for yourself, do so. I think there's even an audiobook laying around somewhere, although I don't know where it is anymore. I don't think it's online. I can't remember. If I find it, I'll let you know, or maybe I'll just re-record it, because why not? It's not a very long book. The concept of this, for confidence, let's start with confidence. So the concept of confidence is just basically very small victories lead to confidence. Very small victories over and over again lead to confidence. And so what you basically do is you're not feeling good about things. Well, then you just basically, oh, my hair, I keep looking at it. Don't look at my hair. You just take small victories, right? So you do a small thing and win, and then do another small thing and win. And it can be very small at first. It depends how you're feeling. And then you just do more small things and then win. And then that builds your confidence. And repetitive small victories get us to bigger victories, and then let us stack those up as well, right? So that's how to start building confidence. Now, acceptance is one of the trickier ones that people have to deal with, which is you have to accept where you are and what's going on, even if you don't want it to be true, and even if you don't love it. And oh, look at that. I guess my man Ferg found it. So you have to accept where you are with things, right? Like, so you haven't gone to the gym because nobody's gone to the gym, because there's no gyms anymore right now. And soon enough, you're not going to be able to afford your gym, so you might not be able to go to your gym. So acceptance is saying, well, I'm going to be a little fluffier for a while. I'm going to have to find new ways to get after this, but I'm just going to accept that this is where I am right now for a while. That's what I'm going to accept, right? Acceptance can happen in so many ways. You had a really rough childhood. I was beaten. I was very poorly treated. Accept that. Yes, that happened. It doesn't mean that you have to forgive it. Acceptance is not forgiveness. Acceptance is just saying, Let's accept that this happened. People are dealing with the fact that they're not able to pay some bills suddenly. They're not able to handle their mortgage suddenly. There's all this stuff kind of happening. You can accept that that's where you are right now. It doesn't make you cheery, doesn't make you thrilled, and there's ways that you can kind of go after it. It's just kind of the deal, right? You have to accept it. Then there's permission. And like I said, permission swaps out to practice. You know what practice means, so we won't cover it, but it basically means that everything we do to build our strength is a verb. We have to practice it or it goes away. Just like when you took your stupid French class in 8th grade and you never used it. It's just like that. Or Spanish, depending on where you lived. But permission is also not forgiveness, but permission is, some people seem to be waiting for the permission fairy to come down and tap them. Bing, bing, you have permission. You have permission to be what you need to be, and you have permission to do the things that you think you need to do right now. Permission only comes from yourself, because all the other permissions we need in life are just sort of functional to work and things like that. But the permission you most need right now is really coming from inside of you. It's coming from inside the house. So sometimes people can't start because they can't give themselves permission. Barbara says, by the way, accepting what's going on even if you don't love it. Absolutely. And hi, Joel. Fight or flight for sure. Oh, fight or flow? Oh, I like fight or flow. I like it. The distance between me and the computer, I have to do the trombone if I actually want to read it. So it's just so funny. Oh, getting old. Speaking of which, I will be a year older a week from today. A week from today, I turn 50. Half a century. Okay, so the E is for execution. Because if you don't do, then all you're doing is thinking. Execution is like having a lot of seeds, and you could eat some of your seeds, but execution is the what you do to make the plants, right? You have to put something in the ground and you have to grow it. And execution is that. If you don't do, then are you? Like that sentence sounds weird, but it's like I think, therefore I am. I think it's I do, therefore I am, right? I think it's I do. I think if you're not doing, then you're just thinking, right? And if you're thinking, you're still just a dream, and dreams can come and go. So I think it's important that we need to execute. The big 5-0, I know. Half a century. Pretty crazy. Thought I'd be way more figured out by now, but that just didn't happen. So now I'm just going to keep going, right? I might not know who I want to be when I grow up until I'm like 85 or so. I am definitely not an early bloomer. All right. Barbara says, wait. Can you talk about the difference between acceptance and permission? Okay. So acceptance is, well, here's where I am. Here's where I am. And permission is saying, I'm going to grant myself the permission to do and execute the things that I want. And I'm going to give myself the permission to move to the area that I want to be in, or to give myself the permission to deliver on the things I want to deliver on. And so permission is more like, you basically grant yourself permission. Now remember, Barbara, one of the things they said was that P is early in your processes, because once you've granted yourself permission and once you sort of fully accept that you have the power and you are in control, permission is basically turning you from someone waiting for someone to help you into being your own leader. That's the easiest way I think I can explain that. And then you swap that out for practice, which just means, the repetitive exercises that it takes for you to do that. Suze turns 50 in November. Well, I am going to wear it out for you before you get here, so it'll be like just, worn in just fine. Acceptance is for the past and permission is forward looking. Well, acceptance can be for today too, right? I don't have the money I need today, so I better go out and try to make some. I'm going to grant myself the permission to really, hustle it down and go get that money, right? I'm going to give myself permission to go do that thing. I'm going to give myself permission to be imperfect and flawed and weirdly haired. At some point, I'm going to give myself permission to shave my head with a stupid shaver just because it's like at this awful length. But Permission is acceptance can be for the past, it can be for the present. It's not very good for the future. Permission is absolutely future facing, though. That makes sense. So I like that kind of part of it. And again, permission doesn't have to sit around for too long. Once you've got permission, you throw that pee in the garbage can and you go to execution. To practice, which goes with execution. Practice and execution are a family. Confidence is the one that we have to work on all the time, because confidence is like a gas tank, right? You have to keep filling it up. You can't, it's like walking a pet, right? You have to walk the dog all the time. You can't walk the dog just once and say, well, there you go, you're done. Hey, Michael. Hey, Steve. Steve Garfield from stevegarfield.com and the Jack Vincent. I was actually, speaking of Jack Vincent, I was just talking to this person about how I'd been to Berlin one time. And that's actually when I hung out with Jack Vincent in person. And what a fun, magical time that was, having Glühwein in the winter in Berlin. Sounds like I'm in a spy movie. So yeah. And permission, the other thing about permission is permission is different than excuses. If I had highlighter, I would put yellow highlighter on our screen right now. Barbara, that's probably one thing to really think about too. Permission is different than excuses. Excuses are what we make when we're not really honoring the deed that we said we're going to do, and we start coming up with reasons why we couldn't. Permission is saying, yeah, I missed that deadline, and I'm just going to own that I missed that deadline. It's where I was at the time. I accept that, and I'm giving myself permission to just say, oh, that deadline passed. I'm just going to do my best to get it in, this other way. And actually, I just realized that about a proposal. Someone wanted me to do something, and I don't think I know how to do it. And I've been kind of really dragging my feet on sending back the proposal. Now I just realized I have to grant myself permission to not take the proposal, which feels absurd because of where everybody is with money right now. But I can't do the work. I don't think I can do the work. I don't understand the work. So yeah, I guess I have to do that. So, that's how permission works, right? That's how permission works. So confidence and execution end up being the thing you do the most, and acceptance and permission and practice, that's kind of how it stretches out and moves itself forward. So there we go. All right. I think we've covered enough for today. We've talked about the cape. I've talked about the book, It's Not About the Tights, which I wrote a little while ago, but might be really useful for this time. If you go to cbrogan.me/no tights, it goes right to the book. Or you can just go to Amazon and look up It's Not About the Tights. It is only on Amazon. It's an ebook. You can get it printed. I think my mom has one on the shelf of pride over at the Brogan Manse in Las Vegas. My mom and dad, I should say. I'm so sorry. Hi, Dad. Might be a good book for this time in our lives. I'm rereading it. All right. I love you. Get the heck out of here. Thank you so much for your time. As always, if you're seeing this after the fact, somewhere like YouTube, just go to Chris at chrisbrogan.com to send me an email. Blah, 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 blah. This has been Point of Contact. I will check in with you again very soon.